So walk me through the evolution of the sports program
Yeah,
and how we got to basically today.
so basketball, again, growing up playing basketball, that was something I naturally love and would do for free. And so I was asked to run a basketball school in New York. I lived here, but they asked me would I come up there and do this 2-week program. So I go up there, run this basketball academy, and learn like, oh, you will pay, people will pay to be a part of a program. I didn't know that. Oh, and me just teaching basketball. Oh, you will pay me to teach basketball. Oh, that's great. Okay, so it's easy. So I started just with a simple basketball academy, a 6-week basketball academy. That went well, and then the parents start asking more about this basketball academy in New York. So pivot, when I moved down back to Atlanta, I kept the basketball academy mindset. So I started that here in Atlanta. So started getting more people coming, and then now parents are asking, do you do other things? And I was like, well, no, I just teach basketball. But again, mentally, it was like, okay, we can offer other programs doing the same thing, same model as this basketball academy. So I found a guy who did soccer, liked his energy, told him what we were trying to do. I got access to these kids. Here's this field, we'll get soccer balls. Can you come up with a lesson plan to teach that? That went well. Then lacrosse came, and then flag football, and all these sports. And then mentally, I understood growth, and I wanted to create more of a platform, more so than just a program. So now where we are now is that we have 16 programs all across every facet, whether sport, entertainment, or education, because kids are all different, and you don't want to just pigeonhole them into one thing, kind of give them some options. So it started with the basketball academy, which is a love, and then I found other people who love other things that were like-minded and came and supported the vision. As you play a sport, if you don't make it to that next level, what do you do? So with 411, our goal is to expose kids to those passions that they may have access to young, so they're not in that same situation of trying to figure it out as soon as they get out of school. And you have a lot of young people that may have children, or they have other responsibilities, and you don't have time to figure it out because life is lifing right in that moment. So it's best now to figure it out while you have your parents, you're not paying bills, you're around your friends. Let's figure all those things now, and let's bring in some great people who've already figured it out to kind of bridge that gap with you.
Life is lifing.
Life is lifing.
That needs to be on our shirt. Life is lifing, and you know it.
Man. Meeting the kid where they are, comfortably, where they can trust you and have a dialogue. Because most kids look at you as when you're old, you don't know, it's totally different, and there's a wall. And then if you start getting through that wall, you start to feel like, okay, we can have a dialogue. I can trust you. And now you start shaping and steering. So with us, we try to, with Saturday School, it's not about bad kids. You know, sometimes you have programs where it's like, if you have nothing, come here, we can help you. We don't operate that way. It's for all kids. But when you come, you're going to adhere to this, what we have going on and how we're going to do it. And what happens is you're taking photography or film surrounded by 10 other kids that want to take photography and film. So it's just like if I want to play basketball, most kids look at the end result. Everyone doesn't buy into the journey. One of our mottos here is life is a journey, not a destination. Instead of focusing on the destination, everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be successful. How are you going to get there? Because if you become rich, what did you do to get there that you're going to have to sustain? You know, what are the people that you got in bed with? What are the people that you work with? Who did you have to cut? All of those things will show up in the end result. So don't focus so much on that. How did you get there? Focus on the journey. So with our programs, we try to let everybody understand the journey of it. And that's where the success is, in the journey, because you can share that with other people as they elevate as well. And that's why we say, enjoy the journey. That's the success. Enjoy the journey, because there's multiple destinations. Because if my destination is to graduate high school, okay, once you graduate high school, you're gonna have to make something else. And then you make this team, you're gonna have to make something else. But it's the process, because making this team is gonna help you make that team. but it's the journey that you're taking to that. It's the same way as adults. You know, as we move from this space to this space, you take what you've learned to implement it, and that's why most people will hire you. What's your background like? What's your history like? Not so much about what's on your paper. What type of person are you? What's some of the things? How do you handle this? That's what gets you over the hump, and that's part of the journey.
And you're probably going to get referred by people that you met along the way that you either made a good or bad impression on. You're either going to get the gig or not based off of who you were on the journey.
Yes,
because now you're a whole other thing.
And now you're building a community now. Because once you get there, you're going to run into a wall. Who are you going to call? Somebody on your journey, especially if you treated them right along the way. So there's a lot of lessons, and you brought up our sports academy. Although we're teaching the sport, it's really about life lessons. How do you work with a teammate? Yeah, you're good, your teammate's not that good. Are you gonna rub it in his face, or are you gonna help him? Because you may need him to get to that destination. So what type of leader are you gonna blame him for dropping the ball or missing the shot? Or are you gonna encourage him? Those are leadership skills that we teach through sport. Although you're learning the fundamentals of it, and we all wanna win, how are we winning is what's important.
Tell me a little bit about what we did today. We got the entrepreneur class, we got the literacy, financial literacy a little bit. Like what took place today?
So today this weekend we're having our first annual ATL versus ATL basketball tournament. And it's our way of bringing the city together through basketball. So we're only focusing on middle school students this year. Pick 4 teams, one from East, West, North, and South. For the weekend, they're coming and they'll play a game on Saturday, championship game on Sunday. It's twofold. One, basketball, everybody wants to be competitive, and I'm the best in the city and all of that. That's great. But then on the other side is community. I learned how to hold a camera while I was in this class. I learned how to manage money while I was in this class. So instead of these kids coming here today to play basketball, let's get inside the classroom and tap into some things that you want to learn. So one of the programs was marketing and branding. And they taught the students that you are a brand right now, whether you know it or not. And as you grow, whomever you deal with is going to look down the timeline of your brand. So although you're in middle school, you have social media. What are you posting? Because when you get to that next level, they're going to look and see what type of person that you are. So there's a walkway for your life. So we kind of teach and show that whatever you're doing right now is going to have an impact later on in life. And then the other side, we talked about digital content and creation. Everyone has a phone, everybody wants to film and all of that, but there's a way to do it that helps your growth. So let's get behind the camera, understand how to operate a camera. Let's get in front of the camera, let's learn how to look someone in their eye, how to sit up, how to talk. So those are the things that we're teaching, because as they move forward, they're gonna be met with those things, and you don't wanna be taught on the spot. It's better to have that knowledge going into it, and it's received and it's looked upon.
How have you seen the kind of fruits of the labor of all of this?
You know, it's community. I can sit back in the beginning of this year, we all have a meet in the beginning of the year and figure out what is our goal. And it was collaboration. Over these years, I haven't really collaborated with a lot of people as I'm trying to figure it out. And so with collaboration, there's growth. And now I needed to fully understand what I was doing before I start bringing other people into it. And as you know, you're building something, it goes left, it goes right, and you don't know who's gonna ride with you. So I was always more, I'll come get you if I need you, but let me kind of figure it out what it is I wanna do. So I would say 3 years ago, I came up with the concept of Saturday school. That way, we're not dealing with after-school programming. These kids are still in school, all the traffic, all of that happens after school. Saturday, you have to be super intentional because you got to get up early, and we're located downtown. So there's not a lot of homes downtown, so you're coming into the city. So now the parents have to be intentional. So now you got to buy in. And in creating Saturday school, to me, it separated us from other youth development programs. So now I felt comfortable that there is something unique about what we're offering that solves a problem for parents as well as people in the community, that now I feel we should build a team around it. So slowly but surely I started, actually they started coming to me of wanting to work with 411 and some of the things that we have going on.
how have you seen them transform before your eyes?
Confidence. Because again, they come in, most kids come in cool. You can't tell if they're nervous or whatever it is. So they come in cool. And our staff is unique in a way that we can pull that out of you, pull that coolness out of you, and now let's have a conversation. So I've learned that a lot of these kids come in more standoffish, but it's not because they're evil, mean, or anything like that. They just don't know. And versus exposing themselves, they would rather miss the boat versus asking questions. So what I've learned is once the program is ended, we've now created relationships amongst kids that didn't know each other. We created mentorships that now these kids have someone that they trust, can actually call upon. And now we create a community of how can we help you? How can we be a part of it? So having kids actually go through that process and watching them become a totally different kid has been one of the joys of the program. For the kids that pass through, the goal is to have a space that they can always come through, whether you come to talk to the next generation, because that's really what the goal is. We want to pour into you so you can become successful, so you can come back and pour into the next group. So that's the goal. We have two goals, actually. Saturday School, we want that to be an international program. We took 3 years to develop it, test it, make sure we know exactly what we're doing, and we want to put that around the country, actually around the world. And then create synergy that if you're in Africa, you can come to Atlanta and be a part of the Music Academy. If you're in Atlanta, you can go to LA and be a part of the Film Academy out there. So create that sort of synergy throughout the world where these kids are crossing and getting these sort of experiences. And then the other goal is to have a hub here in Atlanta that is our home, that houses our culture of what it is that we do. So I think we built everything that's needed to be inside there. I think we've created a lot of relationships with those that see that we do need that space. We have a lot of families that will welcome that opportunity. So that's what the goal is, to have our flagship space and to have impact across the world.
Being a framework for something that's bigger than you.
Definitely.
And I think
Definitely.
that is where legacy begins.
Definitely.
Is when you figure out what is the vehicle that will continue to drive the road.
Yes.
When I'm gone.
Yes. And like I mentioned earlier, my name was on it. I took my name off of it because I started talking to people and they were referring to it as John Thomas something something. And that just didn't feel right to me because it's not so much about me. It's about this thing. But then I learned having my name on it, people will look at it that way. So in removing that, it almost like gave this whole identity to this program that now everybody can kind of pour into and be a part of. So that is always important, is to create something that can be built upon, whether it's other like-minded people that are my peers or whether it's young people trying to figure out what they want to do. Here's a safe space that you can figure it out and you can help young people figure it out as well.
Easy.
Oh, beautiful.
That was easy.
Nice.